President
Oh,
Holger.
hey, Somebody's,
I don't,
somebody's
I
got
don't,
something going. Please.
I don't know
yeah.
what time is it?
It's
Well,
almost
exact-
noon.
Exactly noon, right, on my watch, but that could be
Yeah.
admitted one way or the other.
11:59.
There you go.
9, so it's still morning. So in 2 minutes, it's
Yeah.
afternoon for you.
You're correct as usual.
It's already dark here, so we are coming here as you're very close to the shortest daylight time here. So
Right.
and then it goes. Yes, we are looking forward to the next summer.
Yeah, we all
Hi,
are.
Valarie. So
Hello, President Holger. Nice to see you.
I love this backdrop.
We have to be festive. We're all getting snow here in the next couple of days. We are, so I'm preparing.
Yeah, big storm,
Yeah, it looks good.
big storm.
We had I think since 5 years, not really much snow here in northern Germany.
Wow, that's
Just
great.
a little
Well,
bit.
We'll be happy to send you some, President Holder.
Thank
We're
you.
getting an excess of a foot between Wednesday and Thursday.
And it's exactly 6 years ago that we are the last time able to walk on our lakes, so that the ice was thicker this year, so that we can
Wow.
walk on our lakes. But
Wow.
yeah, it's becoming less and less. It just happens if we have for some weeks in a row strong winds from eastern, from Russia, or from the north, when it's possible. But normally we have the wind is normally coming from England, and that brings warm weather, rain normally.
So there's no ski mountains up there?
Not here.
Yeah.
Our highest mountain in my, by the way, that's the northest state called Schleswig-Holstein with the border to Denmark. Our highest mountain is 157 meters.
Wow.
That's nothing.
That's nothing. That's a little hill. That's nothing. All right, so why don't we get started? Can everyone please mute themselves just to avoid background noise? I'd appreciate that if you could. Well, good afternoon. I think it is good afternoon now, and let's get started. Thank you to our distinguished guests, President Holger Knaack and RI Director Valarie Wafer, for being with us today from Germany and Canada, respectively. We appreciate you giving us time out of your busy schedules, really. That's the marvels of Zoom. We'll talk about that a lot, I'm sure. I'd like to thank the 7210 Rotarians on the call today, as well as our District Executive Secretary and Assistant Governor for Region 7, Carrie Hernandez. You can wave, Carrie, for her hard work getting the word out about President Holger and Director Valarie being with us today. We feel that our district is poised for great accomplishments moving forward as we strive to grow Rotary in our 8-county, 55, soon to be 56 club district. We have a passport club that's about to be born. Happy days. We have a great team approach to Rotary, and our governor string is talented, committed, and focused on assisting the clubs and their members to grow and reach their Rotary and individual potential. It's an honor to serve this year as governor during the pandemic. I've followed some innovative and groundbreaking governors such as Cindy Kish, Louis Turpin, and Drew Kessler, I think all on the call. These are fairly recent governors. After President Holger speaks, we have about 10 questions. Holger, I had sent those to Clarice. I'm not sure you got those, but they're softball questions.
Tony, probably send it to me, but I just moved from another meeting here
Okay,
into this
no
meeting.
worries.
I have no idea, but you know what? You can ask me whatever question you want.
Great. Okay, thank you.
Even
Thanks
the
so much.
toughest question, probably I just say I have no idea. I don't know it.
Okay, and then you can ask Valarie to answer it.
Perfect. Thank you.
And I think just for ease of the event, we'll have Carrie Hernandez read those questions. If there's other questions, please put them in the chat box in uppercase letters so that they're easier to read, and Carrie will read those time permitting. We're going to stop at 1 o'clock or sooner, depending on how it goes. And please keep yourself on mute. I will now introduce Director Valarie, who will then introduce President Holger. Valarie is the previous franchise owner of 6 Tim Horton restaurants in the greater Toronto area. As an employer, her company was a strong advocate for people with disabilities, especially in the area of employment. She continues this advocacy in many aspects of her life, including serving on a local hospital and university board. That's near and dear to my heart. Joining Rotary in 2005, Rotary made a profound impact on Valarie's life, giving her a new viewpoint of the world and how substantial differences happen when we work together as a team. Valarie was the governor of District 7070, which covers the Greater Toronto Area in 2013-14. Now residing in Collingwood with her Rotarian husband, Mark, of 33 years. Valarie's home club is the Rotary Club of Collingwood, South Georgian Bay. She's continued to serve at an international level with roles such as international trainer, member of the International Convention Host Committee in Toronto, Rotary International Presidential Representative, and she's our current Zone 32 Director on the board until the RI board until June 2022, when our very own past District Governor Drew Kessler starts his term as the youngest director in RI history at the age of 42. Holger, I'm not sure that needs to be fact checked, but I'm saying it. I think it is that way. Congratulations again, Drew. Valarie and Drew follow some great Zone 32 directors in Jeffrey Cataret, Dean Roars, and Julia Phelps over the last 6 years. Jeffrey, by the way, gives his regards. He is volunteering today in a food pantry in his hometown of Media, Pennsylvania. So Valarie, I'd like to turn the floor over to you.
Thank you so much, District Governor Tony, and it's such a pleasure.
Valarie, you muted yourself.
Oh my
There
goodness.
we go.
Okay, that is the expression for 2020. We're going to throw that. We're going to throw that in the bonfire. Actually, I haven't done that in a long time. So there you go. That's a first. It's an absolute honor to be with you. Thank you for that introduction. And I was just mentioning that the snow has started to fly outside my window, so be prepared and get those fires roaring. It's a nice time of the year, and it's certainly a pretty time of the year. I'm here today to introduce our president, Holger Knaack, and it's my absolute honor to do so. You know, from the very first time we were introduced to Holger and his lovely wife, Suzanne Knaack, we were greeted by an engaged and active couple. And I love that picture in the Rotarian of Holger diving into the lake that they live on in Germany. And, you know, Holger is a very active person. He's involved in sailing and he loves to golf. And I'm told this is a daily exercise, but we were just talking about the ice on the lake. So I'm not sure if that happened today. Here we would call that a polar plunge. We would actually, you know, cut the ice and dive in and try to raise money. Yeah. But I see that today it was 8 degrees for you, Holger. So I'm not sure. That's about 46 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm not sure if you did your jump today, but I love the fact that you have that image and you're very active. Holger has not been able to travel the world this year, as we know, but in his ever positive way, he states that he has been in more countries and spoken to more Rotary groups already this year than his predecessors. And I think that's evident that he's with us today. We couldn't have a better leader today than we have with Holger. He's truly an agent of change. It's an absolute pleasure to serve on the board and see him lead us this year. Holger and Suzanne have been host parents to over 40 exchange students during his years, and he understands and listens to our young leaders. I've always found Holger and Suzanne to be completely approachable and available, and 2 of the most genuine Rotarians I've ever had the pleasure to know. So I give you your president, Holger Knaack.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Valarie. So you're also so kind. Thank you. And I'm indeed at home, as everybody else right now, since many months. I was just traveling a little bit in Germany by car, visiting some clubs, districts, what I would love to do. I have no idea when I can travel the world, and I don't think that I'm able to do this as president. Probably I'm the first president who never sat in his or her office. So nobody knows that. But so Jennifer will take over our apartment in Evanston, but when I have no chance to get all the stuff out, so she can't go in. So let's see how it works. But as Valarie said, I'm meeting so many Rotarians day by day. And that's amazing how many people you meet through Zoom. And I think all of us becoming more and more experienced with Zoom. So in older days, it was not fun. But right now the technique becomes better and better and better. The computers and the cameras are becoming better. So with Zoom, you can definitely look in people's eyes. So that's if you are looking to the right place in your computer, not here. So that's you have to learn this, how to do this. But this is possible. And I call this, it's probably a new closeness, even if we lost so much. And by the way, I hate this social distance. We are socializing here. That's no need for social distance. Physical distance until everybody is vaccinated. Yes, that's okay. And what we are doing right now, but there's no need for social distance. That's nothing. So I'm here, you are there. And I think normally there wouldn't be a chance having the RI president just for a couple of minutes, 45 minutes or whatever, how long this will take in your clubs and in your home. So this is possible because of virtual opportunities. All of you know, I still love my, no doubt, and I think it fits in the time. Like Mark Maloney's theme, Rotary Connect the World, also fits totally in the time. Whose dog is it? Raise your hand. Whose dog? Okay, that's not a problem. So this also fits into the time, and I still love Rotary Opens Opportunities because it fits to several directions. We are opening opportunities for the people we serve. Whenever we are providing service, for example, a wheelchair, clean water, education, a microcredit for someone, we are opening opportunities for them, new opportunities. But also for us, being a Rotarian, we are opening opportunities for us. Of course, the opportunity to serve and doing everything by our own, if we are serving via our Rotary Club or via districts or whatever. So we are serving others, the opportunity for serving others, but also the opportunity for living, yes, a more meaningful life among friends sharing the same values. For me, it's also about, if we are talking to younger people, Rotaractors, hey, this is about personal growth. Becoming a Rotarian or a Rotaractor, you will really learn a lot. You will learn to be, definitely to become a better leader. Your ability of public speaking, all our youth programs, I think that's amazing what we can learn through Rotary. Our international network, what we are doing right now here. I'm sitting in Germany, you are somewhere in the north of United States or Canada. So there are so many things possible becoming a Rotarian. And I would like all of you, if you are going to reach out for new members, for prospective members to your Rotary Club, there's so much more we can offer to new members than just service. There are so many opportunities becoming and being a Rotarian. I can tell you, for me, the major reason for me when I joined my Rotary Club, it was the opportunity for broaden your perspective, becoming a totally different horizon, becoming friend with different people. Because normally doctors are friends of doctors, lawyers are sitting together with lawyers. So, but through Rotary, this is definitely opens you another world. And by the way, for me today, wherever I go, even in Zoom meetings, it's amazing how many great, unbelievable people you are meeting through Rotary. So that's what always happened when I after this meeting, or there's another one then, when I'm sitting down with Suzanne and saying, hey, Susan, it was unbelievable what kind of people I again met today. And this is just possible because all of us are Rotarians. And I'm asking always clubs, please keep all the good things we are learning right now. So because we are learning day by day, and our internet meetings, our Zoom meetings are becoming more and more interesting. And this is something we should keep. Always look for good speakers. There are so many new opportunities inviting really great speakers, not the RI president. There are really great speakers in this world, and you can invite them for your meetings. So, and this is possible. It's a great opportunity for Rotarians to look beyond club borders, to look something what Rotary is about. And this for me is an opportunity, not just stay in your club and just seeing and meeting week by week the same people. With Zoom, we have so many new opportunities really to travel the world, by the way, without any costs, without any carbon footprint. We can really travel the world, and that's possible with Zoom meetings. So I really encourage all of you, and the world will change next year. So we can't wait to be vaccinated all and then coming back to the so-called new normal. But let's keep all the good things we are learning right now. And when I'm talking to governors in San Diego, I'm asking them, please reach out to every club, ask them to do at least one strategic meeting. And that's really, now is high time to do this, because we are seeing a silver line, and let's really make sure through strategic meetings in our Rotary clubs that we really make sure that we, yes, start a new Rotary. For me, it's always, yes, I try to encourage even my own club to put everything on scratch, to start with the white piece of white sheet of paper, and then start what we can approve in our own Rotary club. And there are so many things. Very often we are doing year by year the same things, and nobody's really care of that. But we can change things, and we can be more attractive for new members, for younger members, for active members. And that's at least my goal. You know, when I'm just talking very briefly about my goals, I think, wow, I would like to see our Rotary clubs more attractive for young professionals. And I would love to see many more women in our Rotary clubs. And I'm sure I will achieve a little bit. And if we are all working on these goals, I think we can make Rotary stronger. And I think when we survive, after we survive this crisis, Rotary can definitely be stronger than before. So some things I heard about making club meetings interesting. So many clubs told me that they are inviting non-Rotarians for their meetings, if there is a good speaker. That's of course, that's a good opportunity. And many people are tired to look every evening Netflix series or television or whatever. Joining a Rotary Club meeting via Zoom that's a great opportunity for non-Rotarians, and it's a great opportunity for us to really look for new members. And I was joining so many club charters, even in these difficult times, and I think that shows me that even in times of pandemic, on times of lockdown, times of virtual meetings, everything is possible in Rotary, and that gives us hope. And I think that makes Rotary stronger. One short story, what I heard about satellite clubs. Satellite clubs are becoming more and more and more. And I heard that happens in England, a satellite club with really old Rotarians. And they started a satellite club. And these group of old Rotarians decided they would be the satellite club and stepped back and opened the original club with the really old name in the city, opened this club for younger members and giving them the opportunity to change everything. And they stepped back and they kept their lunchtime and their enjoying their meeting, but giving the other group the opportunity really to grow and to go forward in Rotary. I think that's a great story. And now I think I'm talking enough. Let's chat a little bit. That's much more. It's much more fun for all of us. And thank you for listening to me.
Thank you very much, President Holger. Those are great thoughts. And I know you're a very innovative thinker and, throw out some of the old ways or if they need to be thrown out and bring in some new ways and new people. Carrie, do you want to start off by asking a few questions and then, we can certainly open it up to the members as well.
Sure.
I think Holger would like that. So.
So most of the questions we have actually were submitted by members who couldn't be here with us today. They're going to view the recording later on. So first question was, how does it feel to be the RI president during this COVID pandemic?
Yes, it's to be very honest, sometimes I'm sitting with Susan and saying, you know what this is terrible because I'm just sitting at home. But when I'm then coming also into Zoom meetings, you are meeting again, as I said, so many great people. And if you're really looking into all these faces, what I'm always do, and that's great. So as I said, I think it's different. I think everybody has to change in times like this. And so also the RI president. And I'm totally sure that I can achieve, I think, more than traveling. I'm totally sure that I'm saving a lot of money. So that's staying at home.
Right.
And unfortunately, I'm gaining weight right now because the food at home is much better than on airplanes.
That's a good one. All right, Carrie, what else we got?
How will the youth exchange programs be affected for 2021? Do we know that yet?
That's something, I'm a great fan of youth exchange. This is where my heartblood is, where I started, well, at least I started my Rotary career. So I feel very sorry about all these students who are not able to go on exchange this Rotary year. And we took the decision just a couple of weeks ago not to have any exchange this year. But if you see the numbers, I think there is no opportunity to send our kids around the world right now, even if I know that some districts are really complaining, and we will have some meetings with them to tell the situation how it is. And that's because the situation is not the same everywhere. There are countries like Taiwan where it's pretty good right now. They have nearly no cases there. But sending your people there, you don't know what happens probably in 3 months, because things can change so quick right now. And then our children are trapped somewhere in this world, and nobody wants that.
Speaking about Taiwan, President Holger, can you address the RI convention in terms of the crystal ball?
Yes, I like this. So there is still hope. There is still hope. But you know what? The hope becomes
hope is right. It's shrinking.
We had that meeting today, and the decision has to be taken late January when we have our board meeting, Valarie, and we have to take the decision. And we hope, all of us hope, that we will have more information then. If we will have more information from the Taiwanese government, for example, that makes it easier, because we have to take the decision, and then the decision is more secure with more information. So I spoke today with the HOC, or the Host Organization Committee, and they are well connected with the authorities in Taipei. And so we try to get any information we can get before this decision. Yes, that's. But I think
so
we are preparing. We are prepared for everything right now.
Yeah, you wouldn't bet the ranch on it. That's kind of what I'm hearing, right? All right, Carrie, what else do you have on your list? And then we can open it up.
With Rotary having so many pathways and connections around the world to distribute the polio vaccine, will we be able to use these to assist to get the COVID-19 vaccine distributed worldwide?
Yes, we had yesterday, we had a board meeting together with trustees. By the way, the first time that we had a meeting between directors, or with directors and trustees, to take one decision. And that works wonderful. And this is also what makes our organization more flexible, more efficient, doing this, what we have done yesterday the first time, just to giving more advice to to districts how to respond to COVID vaccinations right now. And there are so many ways we are asking district governors to ask clubs and to give some advice to do. There's one difficult thing always in Rotary. It's always difficult to send out a unified global message because things are totally different everywhere. And if we are encouraging people to be vaccinated, what we already, of course, do in Germany, in the United States, and Canada, I'm not quite sure if I can do this in Russia, for example, where they have a totally different vaccine. So with a totally different standard. So that makes it difficult to give unified messages worldwide. But we are encouraging, of course, clubs to work, Rotarians to work very close with authorities to do everything what we can do to support the vaccinations in your areas. And of course, also there are still ill people, and also there is still a need for things to protect people. So that doesn't end right now. So there's still a lot to do for clubs and districts in this case. Valarie, do you have some? I think you have some more ideas what we can do, especially in your area, to encourage clubs and districts.
Well, yeah, no, I think the discussion that we had yesterday at the board level was really great with the trustees. We're all getting a lot of inquiries as to what we can do because we are people of action. We want to roll up our sleeves. We want to be able to help, and that's wonderful. And we heard some really great examples yesterday about, the stuff that the service that we're doing right now, even during COVID, to help support our healthcare workers, whether it's through food support or technical support, admin support, any way we can get involved. And certainly the advocacy for vaccinations in general. I think it really helps support our polio work and certainly the efforts that we've had with our global partners. And so I think that it's a win-win for all of us to just keep that advocacy going and keep our members really informed too about, how our past has helped with the distribution and advocacy and work with our global partners, because I think that obviously our number one priority is the eradication of polio. And so the more we can bring awareness of vaccines and the work that we've done, the more we'll help get that work done as well.
Absolutely, because vaccination, that's our business. That's our major project in polio. And Carrie, what you ask, it's also the structure we built to end polio, especially in Africa, Southeast Asia, India. This structure is existing. And if it comes to vaccinations in these countries, they will use the logistic, whatever type of vaccine it will be then. But I think this is also something we can go public with because to raise our public image. Thank you.
Since the start of the pandemic, many of our clubs here in the Hudson Valley have had declining attendance with members who weren't comfortable meeting in person, but they didn't want to do the online meetings either. And there's concern in some of our clubs that they may be losing members from these people not coming back when we can safely meet in person again altogether. What advice can you give these clubs to try and encourage members to come back once the crisis is over?
Yes, first of all, I would encourage them to join virtual meetings, and it works. I saw it in my own Rotary Club. It's really about taking care of our own members, making sure that everybody is on board. And if you feel some resistance, I think the best way is to call them, simply to call them. This is an advice for club presidents, and so call them, ask them, and tell them some success story, and let them know how interesting club meetings could be if there is a good speaker, if there's something going on, of course. And I think that's the way. That's the way. And probably show them how they can dial into Zoom meetings, that they get some help. And I know there are some, especially among older members, there's some resistance because they had no idea how this could work. And they had no idea about the experience. And I was so amazed when I saw some of my own club members. I didn't saw them since 3-4 years. First time in Zoom meetings, and they were so excited together with their partners and showing it. Look at this. This is amazing. Can you see it? It was, so I think we should people tell that it's also fun joining Zoom meetings and coming closer to their friends.
Great, thank you. This one comes from our e-club. After viewing the Worldwide e-club virtual gathering last week, what is your opinion of the value and the future of an internationally based e-club?
Oh, it depends. It depends. You know, it's simply, there are so many things possible. And there are people who love to be in a local e-club, like my wife, Suzanne. So she founded 6 years ago a local e-club. That's an e-club, and a hybrid e-club. They are meeting 3 times a month on the internet, very late, 9 o'clock in the evening. So it's a young club when all children are in bed. So that makes it more relaxing for the members. And just once a month in person. So they love this format. Everything is possible. There are other formats. I was joining the meeting of the Rotary E-Club Wall Street, New York. And they have members everywhere. And they love it to be a cosmopolitan club. That's okay. I think everything is possible. And just do this, what fits to you or what you like most. That's the beauty of Rotary right now. So we have so many different models, and so we can reach out to so many different people. So I think this is a really great opportunity for all of us to grow Rotary.
Holger, I think our e-club has, and I think our president's on the call, we have 5 or 6 different countries represented there, all over Europe and India, Africa, it's Turkey, Brazil, Sweden. So that your point is correct about, you know, using those folks and attracting speakers too, you know, to other clubs.
You know, in older times, it was just one model. So Rotarians met for lunch or for dinner, and that was the only model we had. Right now, there are so many totally different models, and let's do whatever fits for us and for the members, and what is fun and what is attractive for others, and what is gives us the opportunity for a good service.
Carrie, anything else on yours, or pretty much good right now?
I have 2 more submitted ones, and then I see a couple more popping up in the chat, so we can call on people.
Okay.
The next one is, what positive changes have you seen in clubs due to the accommodations that COVID has forced them to take?
I think everything we talked about right now, so that many clubs are changing, used new technology, and through that, I'm encourage them all, please put everything on the test what you are doing right now, and do what simply fits best to your membership. And that's different everywhere. If a lunch meeting doesn't fit, do an evening meeting, a dinner meeting. If your members don't like to have a meal at all, do something different where you just have some pretzel sticks or whatever. So I think each club should look for opportunities what fits best to their members.
And I think I may know the answer to this question. I was part of the Aspiring Leaders with Peter Sullivan, who's somewhere on the call too, up at the Zone with you last September. But what is your favorite Rotary program and why?
My personal, no doubt.
Yours.
No doubt. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, no doubt, Youth Exchange. And as we said, we hosted 43 Youth Exchange students. The last one, by the way, 2 years ago, a young lady from Michigan. And so that's for 4 months. And that was our last students. Now we are becoming too old. But what Suzanne always say is, these students in our home, they are changing our life. I think so, the same way we changed their lives. And they raised our level of tolerance. That's unbelievable. So that's really our benefit from hosting so many exchange students. And you know, I was chairing the German Youth Exchange program for 6 years. And this was by far the largest multi-district in the Rotary world. We sent out every year 1,400 students and received the same number. And all of the applications had my signage. And trust me, I was so happy after I left office and became immediately director then. So I was so happy that there was no really serious, ugly incident in this time. You know, everything, so many things can happen. There were many incidents, of course, some funny, some really, really unlucky, but not really some really ugly, a bad incident in this time. So we had once we had a childbirth in a young student from the United States. And I was so happy, believe it, I was so happy that it happens after 5 months. So that makes it not as serious for us as hosting district here. So no doubt youth exchange is something, and I love to quote past RI President Carl Wilhelm Stenhamer, who once said, if every 17-year-old boy or girl would do a year of youth exchange, there would be no war anymore in this world. So I really think that's a great statement. That's a great phrase. Thank you.
Gary, you want to read some of the ones in the chat box?
So I'm actually not able to see all of them. My computer's being a little special right now. I know Bo from Cairo had a question that he sent me, but I couldn't see if he's on. If Bo, would you like to ask your question, please?
Yeah. Hi, thank you again for doing this. This is wonderful. My question is, I'm a new member. I'm younger in our club, and I know you were mentioning attracting younger members. Have you seen any clubs be successful at attracting like maybe these younger members, and how they went about doing that, and anything you would recommend for clubs out here that we could be doing?
Yes, thank you for that question. It depends really on the culture and what people love. It really is to attract younger members, you have to know what do the young members in your area love. I think what is really important, what I see in Berlin, where we have several young, really young and great clubs, that's first of all, you have to meet in a cool location. It is so important. And I think it's important if you tell your friends about the Rotary Club you are joining. I think many friends will say, oh God, what are you doing? What kind of club is it? But if you can tell them that's really great people, also younger, and you are doing great projects, unique projects, and that you have a lot of fun in your club and meeting interesting people, what you would never meet before. So all these things I think are important. That's a whole package of things. I think personally, every Rotary Club member should be proud of his or her Rotary Club and should love to tell their friends about their club. If this works, I think then we have no problems to gain more members.
Holger. Steve Lauback from Highland had a question. Steve, are you still on?
Yes, I am here. Thank you. Also, I'll ditto thank you for taking the time to do this with us. It's pretty cool. We don't often get audience of the RI president. My question had to do with fundraising during this pandemic. There's a lot of clubs struggling trying to raise money so they can continue to do things. And I'm curious to see what you found is the most interesting and the most successful fundraisers you've seen in your Zoom travels, if you will.
Thank you. I think there are many. Thank you for that. Thank you for that question. By the way, what we learned and what I'm hearing very often and what we see if we look at our numbers in Evanston is that normally we expected that our contributions are going down. But really fortunately, and I think everybody can be happy that it doesn't happen this year. So the numbers went slightly up of our contributions to the Rotary Foundation this year. And I think that's because of people develop so many ideas. So there are ideas like wine tasting, so where people are encouraging or beer tasting. So I was enjoying some meetings where they did this. I saw a meeting where they did a marathon. So running So, and that was amazing. So that people are really what they have done normally in person. So, and raising money. So they had done this virtually, and that works. So people are contributing, and also the sponsor companies, they don't stop to sponsor. So they also have put money into this thing. This was amazing. So others there was a competition. So using your smartphone and counting your steps day by day. And there was a competition who would do the most steps. So, and this was also a fundraiser. So there are some really innovative ideas, and I'm probably, I think, Valarie, you know, some more ideas about doing virtual fundraisers. Of course, these crowd fundraising, that's of course another idea, but you need a really good cause here and have the ability to reach many people. Valarie, do you have more ideas to share?
I'll just share that I know that our 2 zones have been exposed to a fundraising platform that we can use in so many different ways, even at the club level. It's crowdsourcing, it's linked to social media. So we have been actively looking at some platforms to do our fundraising with. So.
There's another thing. What in Austria clubs has done. They had a singer contest via Zoom. But you can't use the Zoom microphone for that. All the movies, they had to be done with Facebook. No, not with Facebook, with YouTube, because there's a much better audio with this, because the audio with Zoom is really bad. But these are awful things. So
you obviously haven't heard me sing. It wouldn't help.
You know, there's so great technique. So everything is possible with technique, Valarie.
It's all about the back room production, right?
So we had a question from Nan Greenwood, who runs our youth exchange program here. Nan, are you still on?
Yes, I am. Thank you, Carrie. And thank you, Holger, again. It's good to see you again. We saw you a few weeks ago on the E-Club meeting, and we first met you on the beach in Rio. So many for the preliminary tour prior to this RI convention. In any event, my question related to youth exchange. Do you foresee a requirement among future youth exchange applicants to have taken the COVID immunization prior to application? Or do you see that being left to individual school districts, which means there might be a variety of responses to that?
To be very honest, Nan, I've no really idea right now. So I remember pretty well that when we sent children to other parts of the world, South America, Africa, Southeast Asia, for example, there were always vaccinations required. So for it's yellow fever in Africa, or all these different things. And I remember whenever parents don't want this, so it was very simple. The children couldn't get on exchange because that was a requirement here. With COVID, I think probably in the beginning, but I think after a couple of months time, when there are enough people vaccinated, there is no need to go on with vaccinations. So what I heard about that. So because I'm not a doctor, I'm not someone who could really give the proper answer. I think if it's necessary, if the doctors think it's necessary, we should do it as a requirement. If not, probably in 2 years, 3 years, whenever it is, I think there's no need for that. I think in this case, in many cases, but when people ask me what they should do, what kind of advice they should follow in this difficult times of the pandemic. So my answer is always, please follow the rules of your government and follow the science. I think that's the only thing what we can do.
Could I just, I want to recognize a couple of folks that came on the call. One is just recently elected District Governor nominee designee Peter Sullivan. That was like a few days ago. It was hot news, hot off the presses. Peter's on the call. Congratulations, Peter. I want to say 23.
Thank you very much, Tony.
23, 24.
Yes, it's coming.
Yeah. And then Drew Kessler came on a little bit ago as well. And Drew, congratulations again.
Thank you, Tony. Good to be with everybody.
Hi, Drew.
Valarie,
thank you for doing this.
Valarie, I'm sorry. Could you address our district started a few months ago with diversity, equity, inclusion that we call Think Differently. We also have now a public image communications committee district-wide, also the foundation committee, which Louis Turpin has been expertly managing for the last few years. And then the membership committee, which District Governor nominee Larry Pallant is in charge of. So we have a really good group of committees, probably 50 or 60 district Rotarians involved. But I would like you to address the DEI piece, because I know you're very intimately involved with that.
Sure, thanks, District Governor Tony, and thank you to Holger and the board for the direction to strike a DEI task force at the board level, which I'm honored Holger asked me to chair. So we've established a 9-person task force that is globally diverse in membership, not only in our experience, our professional experience, but our lived experience. And it was really important for us to ensure that we approached diversity, equity, and inclusion on a global yet a regional basis, knowing that diversity, equity, and inclusion is very different in Germany for Holger than it might be in Japan, than it might be for the US, and even across the border in Canada. We all have our regional differences, and even across our countries, we have very differences. So very important that our task force was made up of those global voices. I want to congratulate District 7210 on establishing your own DEI task force. I know that there's some of you on this call today. I think, you know, your message, we're a bottom-up organization, and we need to hear from you and the work that you're doing in your clubs and in your districts, because that's where those culture changes have to happen. And that's where those sometimes difficult conversations have to happen. And I think it's really important that the leadership of your district help support and drive that, because we quite often know that it's that tone from the top that allows the culture change and allows us to realize that we need to be more diverse in our membership and reflect the communities that we're in and have some of those conversations. You know, I was a speaker at a large club recently, and DEI came into the conversation. And afterwards, we kind of asked if we could stick around and just have a casual conversation. And a man in the club who'd been a member for 15 years and identified himself as an African American talked about right from his heart how he never felt like he could have this conversation in the club, even though he'd been in the club for 15 years. And that the conversation that we're having today in our Rotary clubs in our districts makes him feel like he can now express himself. And it was a really incredible and powerful moment for me, but for the club members as well. So I'm really, really encouraged that, and Tony, I love the way you introduced all of your committee members, because it's not just your DEI committee. It is membership, it is foundation, it is youth exchange. It's everything that we do in our clubs and districts that we need to look at and through a new lens with DEI. So congratulations on setting your DEI committee. I can tell you that our committee at the board level have met a number of times. We have split into work groups now to really take a deeper dive, as I'm sure that's, you know, on your mandate at the district level, to look at policy, to look at elections, to look at leadership, because it really does take looking at it through a new lens. And so congratulations, and I'm here as a resource, and we'll keep you up to date on what the DEI Global Task Force is working on.
Great. Thank you so much, Valarie and President Holger for having that initiative, getting it going. I think it's going to be critical in the future. I think our committee feels the same way. We have time for maybe one more question, as long as it doesn't have 17 parts to it. And then we're going to hand it over to Valarie and Holger for last words. So, and another question from, let's see, we see one here. Can Holger update us on the status of the environmental area of focus from Lewis Turpin? Thank you.
Thank you for that question. Yes, first of all, I'm so happy that we have this area of focus right now. As a 6th or 7th, that doesn't matter, but it doesn't matter that we have the environment, and because not just young people are really waiting for that, and I think for me it's one of the most important steps we have done in the Rotary Foundation and in Rotary last year. They are working on that right now. They are working on rules and regulations for the global grants, and I'm not quite sure when the trustees will this roll out. Probably at the IA. I think that's a perfect opportunity at the International Assembly to roll out all the requirements and regulations and all these things we need for applications for global grants. What I learned that it's not so easy, especially because we are talking always about sustainability. My example is planting a tree. It's easy to plant a tree, and it's necessary to plant as many trees as possible for all of us. But when it comes to applying for a global grant for tree planting, there are several requirements. First of all, it must be part of a regional plan, not just a club plan. It must be a broader plan in the community or region. And second, what I said, that's about sustainability. It's easy to plant a tree, but it's more difficult to take care of this tree for the next 5, 10 years, making sure that this tree can really grow and can safe grow. And this is also to built in these rules and regulations for global grants. And that makes it not difficult, but they have to start to think of all these opportunities are waiting for having in the environment. This is just for global grants, of course. I think everybody is, for me, is asked to do whatever he or she can to protect our environment and to protect and to fight global warming and not wait for a global grant, but start immediately. And for me, there are so many things, small things everybody can do right now. What I said, switching off the light if you're leaving the room, or not overheat your rooms in winter, or don't cool your rooms too much down in summer. Or what I always say, don't drive too fast on the German Autobahn. All these things are really it's taking care of our environment. Thank you.
That last one is an unfortunate one, Holger, I have to say. the Autobahn driving. Valarie, some last thoughts and words, and then we'll wrap up a little bit. You know, we're close to 1.
Yeah, no, I just want to again thank you for allowing me to join you. I think that you know, there's a lot of enthusiasm and engagement. Tony, you're having a wonderful year. As you say, you've followed some dynamic and effective district governors. You have a great relationship and camaraderie around your district. I know I really enjoy being with you at your president-elect training. There's a lot of really fun that happens during and after, because you're really an engaged group. So thank you so much. And it's always a pleasure to be in the room with Holger Knaack. So it was a great conversation today. Thank you.
Yes. Holger, President Holger, very inspirational. I mean, I think everyone on this call will remember this day, because as it was said previously, we don't get opportunities to address the president. And now the next time we see your face in a magazine, we can say, well, we spoke to him. You know, the magazine doesn't speak back. And by the way, the magazine is great. I think it's very well done. Your communications committee, I think, did a great job changing the name, and very personal articles, which I think is important. So thank you so much for all you're doing. And thank everyone on the call for spending an hour with President Holger and Director Valarie. This was very special indeed. And will be long remembered. And it's going to be on our YouTube channel as well. So if folks haven't been able to catch it live, they can catch it on YouTube. And so thank you so much for all you're doing. And I know the next 6 months are going to be very busy. And I know you're running very hard to the finish line, Holger, right? And through that, right?
Thank you, Tony. Thank you for inviting me. So I'm probably you have the same idea if I'm not RI president, if I'm past president. So please feel free to invite me again. So
We will.
I'm happy.
Thank you very much.
to join you. And what I'm always say, whatever happens on Rotary, I think we have to make sure that we can deliver the best club experience ever for our club members. And whatever happens, I think Rotary has also to be fun, like this meeting here. Thank you very much. It was a great pleasure. And stay healthy.
Stay
It was a
healthy.
wonderful meeting,
You as
Tony.
well.
Thank you very much.
Really
Everyone have a
wonderful
safe
seeing
holiday.
you.
Continue,
Yes,
you know,
Merry
have-
Christmas.
Too.
Merry Christmas.
and enjoy your holidays, right? Absolutely.
Happy
Thank
holidays.
you.
Valerie.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Gary,
Yes.
thank you very
Merry
much for your work.
Christmas, happy
Very
everything.
good.
Thank you, Tony. Appreciate it.
Great.
Yes,
Good job, everyone. Thank you.
thank you.
Thanks, Holger. Thanks, Valerie.
Thank you, Holger. Merry Christmas, everyone.